What if I told you NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most advanced eye in the sky, uncovered something so shocking on Mercury that the US government had to shut it down? Today, we're diving deep into the jaw-dropping claims, the mysterious images, and the hidden truths that some say NASA doesn't want you to know. Mercury, the smallest planet in our solar system, has long been considered a barren, lifeless rock. But recent whispers suggest there's more to it than meets the eye. Grab your coffee, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at our solar system's innermost planet the same way again. The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, was designed to peer deep into the universe, studying galaxies formed billions of years ago. But in early 2025, its focus briefly turned much closer to home: Mercury. Why? Officially, scientists claimed they were studying the planet's thin exosphere and unusual magnetic field interactions. Unofficially, that's where things get murky. Reports from anonymous sources inside NASA hinted that Mercury's reflective surface was revealing anomalies, shapes and shadows that didn't fit the planet's known geological features. High-resolution infrared imaging revealed heat signatures in areas that should have been ice cold. This data wasn't just strange, it was unprecedented. And that's when the public livestream abruptly ended. The official explanation? Technical difficulties. But to those paying attention, it felt more like a curtain being pulled. Shortly after the feed went dark, leaked snippets began circulating online. Grainy screenshots showed geometric formations, straight lines, sharp angles, and what appeared to be domed structures partially buried beneath Mercury's rocky crust. Experts in planetary geology were quick to say, this isn't natural erosion. The rumor mill exploded. Could these be remnants of an ancient alien outpost? Or perhaps evidence of a secret human installation? While NASA dismissed the images as data artifacts, independent analysts ran them through filters and confirmed the shapes were consistent with constructed objects. One particularly striking image showed a hexagonal pattern spanning nearly 2 miles, impossible for a planet with no atmosphere to naturally form. And here's where it gets even stranger. Older Mariner 10 and Messenger mission images showed nothing in that location. That suggests whatever's there wasn't there before. In the days following the supposed technical glitch, NASA refused to release the full set of Mercury images. Press inquiries were met with carefully worded statements about ongoing data calibration. But an insider whistleblower, calling themselves Orion, leaked an internal memo. The document allegedly warned of public destabilization if certain findings from JWST's Mercury observations were made public. It referenced non-terrestrial engineering and thermal anomalies inconsistent with planetary norms. Naturally, this sent conspiracy forums into overdrive. Was NASA protecting us from the truth, or protecting someone else's secrets? Some believe Mercury's proximity to the Sun makes it the perfect hiding spot. Too hostile for casual exploration, but easy for advanced civilizations to exploit. Others suggest these findings threaten long-standing agreements between space agencies worldwide to keep certain extraterrestrial discoveries classified. Speculation has reached fever pitch. One theory claims the structures are ancient alien ruins, dating back millions of years when Mercury may have had a different orbit and climate. Another points to deep mining operations, either human or alien, extracting valuable elements like helium-3 or rare metals. There's even a fringe idea that Mercury is being used as a relay point for interstellar communication, hidden from our view until JWST's powerful sensors caught a glimpse. Skeptics counter that this is all a misinterpretation of pixelated data, yet they can't explain why NASA's behavior has been so uncharacteristically secretive. If this were simply a matter of misread images, why not release the raw data and settle the matter? Instead, we're left with partial leaks, closed-door briefings, and the unsettling feeling that we've stumbled onto something far bigger than we're allowed to know. If the rumors are true, JWST's Mercury findings could be the most significant discovery in modern space history. It would rewrite our understanding of the solar system, and possibly our place in it. But if this information remains locked away, public trust in space agencies could erode completely. Already, independent astronomers are rallying to point their own instruments at Mercury, hoping to replicate the findings. Private space companies, too, may seize this moment to launch their own missions, bypassing governmental gatekeepers. In the end, secrecy might only accelerate our race to uncover the truth. Whether the shutdown was a precaution, a cover-up, or just a glitch, one thing is certain: Mercury has just gone from boring rock to the hottest real estate in the solar system. Within days of the shutdown, amateur and professional astronomers worldwide began training their telescopes on Mercury. While Earth-based telescopes can't match JWST's infrared power, some managed to capture unusual glints, reflective flashes that shouldn't exist on Mercury's dusty, rocky surface. A team in Chile reported consistent flashes occurring in a perfect geometric sequence, almost like a coded signal. When their findings were posted online, the thread was mysteriously deleted within hours. Many chalked it up to forum moderation rules, but others suspected a more deliberate silencing. This only emboldened the astronomy community. Online groups formed, pooling telescope time, sharing data, and comparing notes. The more they looked, the more anomalies appeared. Odd thermal readings, strange surface markings, and shifting shadows. These weren't random. Something was moving on Mercury's surface, and it wasn't geological. By the end of the week, one unsettling conclusion began circulating in hushed tones. Whatever's up there, it knows we're watching. Then came the disappearances. Two researchers who had publicly spoken about the Mercury anomalies, Dr. Evelyn Hart from MIT and Professor Michael Rojas from the University of Madrid, suddenly went off the grid. Emails bounced back, phones went straight to voicemail. Their university colleagues claimed they had taken sabbaticals but offered no details. Strangely, both had been part of a joint NASA-ESA review team analyzing JWST's Mercury images. Online sleuths connected the timing. Both vanished within 48 hours of the leaked Orion memo. Whistleblower supporters suggested they might have been silenced to stop further leaks. Others speculated they had gone into hiding voluntarily, fearing repercussions for what they knew. The unsettling part? Archived interviews show both scientists had hinted at engineering not made by human hands before their sudden absence. These vanishings weren't proof of a cover-up, but they were a warning sign that whatever the truth was, it came with high stakes. Mercury is already a magnetic oddity. Despite its small size, it has a surprisingly strong magnetic field, one that shouldn't logically exist for such a planet. After JWST's short-lived observations, leaked spectrographic readings suggested localized magnetic fluctuations far stronger than Mercury's average. These hotspots matched the coordinates of the alleged structures. The implications? If these fluctuations are artificial, they could be the byproduct of active machinery buried beneath the planet's surface. Some theorists believe this machinery could be a power source, shield generator, or even a propulsion mechanism for an ancient, now inactive worldship. The planetary science community was split. Publicly, they dismissed the idea as pseudoscience. Privately, many admitted that the data didn't match any known natural process. And if these hotspots weren't natural, it meant one thing: something intelligent once altered Mercury's magnetic profile, and maybe still is. The more researchers dug, the more connections they found, not in space, but in ancient human history. Symbols from Sumerian, Egyptian, and even Mayan artifacts bore uncanny resemblance to the geometric formations supposedly seen on Mercury. In Egyptian mythology, Mercury was linked to Thoth, the god of knowledge, who was said to have come from the stars. Some French historians claim these myths could be encoded records of contact with beings from Mercury's surface. A particularly striking discovery was an ancient tablet depicting a domed structure on a rocky plain under a blazing sun, eerily similar to the leaked JWST images. Was this just mythological coincidence, or did our ancestors know more about Mercury than we do today? If these myths are memories of real events, then the James Webb shutdown isn't just a modern mystery, it's part of a story thousands of years old. Among the more technological explanations for the Mercury anomalies is the solar relay theory. This idea proposes that Mercury, due to its close proximity to the Sun, is the ideal location for a high-energy communications relay, possibly built by an alien civilization to send and receive signals across interstellar distances. Such a relay could harness the Sun's immense radiation for power, bouncing transmissions far beyond our galaxy. The structures seen in the leaked images, according to this theory, might be antenna arrays, control stations, or even maintenance hangars. If true, JWST's sensors may have accidentally picked up active transmissions, a discovery that would instantly confirm intelligent life beyond Earth. And if those transmissions were still ongoing, it could explain the urgency in shutting down the public feed. After all, intercepting alien communications could be the most politically and militarily sensitive event in human history. Infrared data from JWST's brief Mercury scan reportedly revealed concentrated heat zones, pockets where the surface was dozens of degrees hotter than surrounding terrain. Mercury's lack of atmosphere should cause surface heat to dissipate quickly in the cold of space, yet these zones remained stable for hours. Independent scientists who analyzed the leaked thermal data speculated these could be exhaust vents, geothermal taps, or even the tops of underground facilities radiating residual heat. The strange part? The hotspots were arranged in a perfect triangular pattern, each exactly 11 kilometers apart. Such precision is unnatural for planetary geology. Could this be evidence of a vast subterranean grid system? And if so, who built it and why? Weeks after the first leak, Orion resurfaced with an encrypted voice recording sent to a small online investigative group. In it, the whistleblower claimed that NASA had discovered persistent mechanical noise emanating from Mercury's surface, vibrations too rhythmic to be natural. They alleged that JWST sensors picked up subsonic pulses, almost like a heartbeat, coming from deep within the planet. Orion's chilling conclusion? Mercury is not entirely dead. Something inside it is still functioning. The recording was quickly taken down from most platforms, but by then, copies had spread across the internet. While skeptics dismissed it as fabricated audio, the timing matched the shutdown incident perfectly, making it difficult for many to ignore. Observers began noticing an unusual uptick in US military satellite deployments shortly after the Mercury incident. While officially tied to communications infrastructure, several of these satellites were positioned in orbits with clear lines of sight to Mercury. Former Pentagon insiders hinted at real-time monitoring of the planet, suggesting the military might be tracking changes to whatever was discovered there. This fueled speculation that the government viewed the Mercury anomaly not as a scientific curiosity, but as a potential security issue. If Mercury housed alien technology, or worse, active alien presence, the military's involvement made unsettling sense. Leaked time-lapse images from an unnamed observatory showed something that deepened the mystery: large, moving shadows crossing Mercury's surface in broad daylight. These shadows did not match the path of known celestial bodies and appeared to shift direction erratically, as if cast by massive aerial objects. Given Mercury's negligible atmosphere, such objects shouldn't exist naturally, meaning they were either close to the surface or in low orbit. If these shadows were real, they might be spacecraft, drones, or other aerial constructs, and the fact they were visible at all suggests they weren't trying very hard to hide. A group of amateur radio astronomers in Australia claimed they intercepted a repeating signal while scanning the solar system's inner regions. The signal, a pulsing tone at 83 Hz, appeared only when Mercury was above the horizon. Its pattern was too precise to be random static. While mainstream scientists suggested it could be terrestrial interference, others weren't convinced. Some cryptographers who studied the signal believed it might contain compressed data, potentially a message. If true, the big question became, is the message meant for us, or for someone or something else out there? Digging through old astronomical logs, researchers found several unexplained observations of Mercury dating back centuries. In 1832, French astronomer François Arago noted fleeting points of brightness on the planet's night side. In 1924, American astronomer Frank Elmore Ross captured photographic plates showing strange rectilinear markings that disappeared in later images. These anomalies, dismissed at the time as optical errors, now took on new significance. Could these be earlier glimpses of the same structures JWST spotted? If so, whatever is on Mercury has been there, and perhaps active, for far longer than we've realized. One plausible motive for a presence on Mercury could be resource extraction. The planet's crust is rich in metals like iron, nickel, and potentially rare platinum group elements. Mercury's proximity to the Sun makes it an ideal energy source for mining operations, especially for a civilization advanced enough to withstand its harsh environment. Supporters of this theory believe the alleged structures could be processing plants or launch systems for transporting materials. If so, humanity might not be alone in exploiting the solar system's resources, and we may have stumbled into someone else's territory. Several insiders claim that major space agencies, NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, and even China's CNSA, maintain a mutual disclosure pact to withhold certain extraterrestrial findings. This pact, supposedly formed during the Cold War, ensures that sensitive space discoveries are handled behind closed doors to avoid mass panic or geopolitical fallout. If such an agreement exists, Mercury's anomaly would be exactly the kind of discovery covered by it. This could explain the synchronized silence from global space organizations following the JWST incident. With secrecy shrouding official channels, private space companies have begun to eye Mercury with renewed interest. Firms like SpaceX and Blue Origin have quietly filed proposals for long-term observation and robotic probe missions. These companies argue that the public deserves access to all space data, not just what's released by government agencies. If they succeed, the first independent probe to reach Mercury in decades could break the story wide open. But some insiders warn that if the anomaly is real and potentially dangerous, these companies could be putting themselves in harm's way. In late 2025, an independent satellite tracking group reported strange spikes in electromagnetic radiation emanating from Mercury. These bursts were short but powerful, and they occurred in repeating cycles, almost like a machine towering up and down. While no official explanation has been given, some theorists think these could be signals, propulsion tests, or even weapons calibration. If that's the case, then Mercury isn't just a passive anomaly, it's an active system. Before and after images of Mercury, taken just months apart, appear to show significant surface alterations in key regions. Crater walls seem to have collapsed in geometrically uniform patterns, and new ridges had appeared where none existed before. Given Mercury's lack of weather, such rapid geological changes are virtually impossible without external intervention. Could this be construction work, repairs, or evidence that the planet's surface is being actively modified for purposes we can't yet understand? Some believe the entire Mercury anomaly could be part of a sophisticated psychological operation, either to distract the public from other issues or to gauge reactions to extraterrestrial disclosure scenarios. If so, the shutdown and leaks could have been orchestrated, not suppressed. While this theory is the most cynical, it does explain the suspicious timing, the controlled nature of the leaks, and the lack of hard, verifiable evidence. But if it is a psyop, then what's the endgame? And why choose Mercury of all places? In early 2026, whispers began to circulate about a second, unannounced James Webb shutdown, this time during observations of Venus. While unconfirmed, some believe this could mean whatever was found on Mercury isn't isolated to one planet. If similar anomalies exist on Venus, it could point to a network of installations spread across the inner solar system. Such a revelation would completely upend our understanding of who or what we share space with. Certain religious groups have begun interpreting the Mercury findings through a theological lens. Some see it as the opening of the heavens foretold in prophecy, a sign of approaching judgment or contact with angelic beings. Others warn that these are fallen entities masquerading as advanced life. Whether you see this as faith-based speculation or profound insight, it underscores how deeply the Mercury anomaly has penetrated the human imagination and how it could reshape our worldview. After months of speculation, leaks, and silence, one question remains unanswered. Why shut down the James Webb feed instead of confronting the anomaly publicly? Whether the truth lies in alien ruins, secret human activity, or something far stranger, the choice to hide it suggests that the powers that be believe we're not ready to know. But history shows that secrets, once glimpsed, are impossible to fully bury. One day, perhaps sooner than we think, Mercury may reveal its secrets, whether by our hands or its own. In mid-2026, the European Space Agency quietly postponed its planned Mercury probe mission, Hesperus-1, citing unexpected orbital calculation issues. Yet leaked engineering notes revealed something far stranger. During a preliminary flyby simulation, the probe's onboard instruments began receiving unprogrammed data packets, as if something in Mercury's vicinity was transmitting directly to the craft. These phantom transmissions contained no recognizable code, just strings of repeating prime numbers. Mathematicians know that prime sequences are often used in hypothetical extraterrestrial communication because they're universally significant. Could Hesperus-1 have been pinged before it even launched? Mercury has no substantial atmosphere to scatter light, which makes the sudden appearance of glowing points on its dark side deeply puzzling.